Guys, it's day two. Um, so basically, I didn't get so much studying done today, at least not as much as I got done yesterday. My average for each day is always 3 to 4 hours each day. Today, I could only get 2 hours done. I've had a very busy morning, and on top of that, I'm going to go see my girlfriend today, later today, which is actually in a couple of minutes. Um, so I haven't had much time to actually study today for the LSAT. The bright side is I did study for 2 hours, and in those 2 hours, I mainly did the most strongly supported um, questions or problem sets using level 4 and 5 questions, at least level 4 and 5 dictated by LSage. The good news is I'm starting to get a better handle on level 4 and level 5 most strongly supported questions. The bad news is I'm really, really weak in the science-based ones. The words for some reason trip me up, and then I try to use logic to just make them simpler, and I end up confusing myself after reading everything because I get frustrated with myself for not understanding it. I feel like that's a barrier I have to work over all of these technical science terms and just treat them as if they were plain English. Forget meaning, forget everything, just what do they imply, and apply them into formal logic. I think that's how I could best approach these questions, and it helped. I got 1 out of 5 base science questions right. I think a big problem for me is that learning the fundamentals isn't the same as just doing practice, and problem sets isn't the same as just doing blind review on a full exam. And I think that's when I really will start to learn how to adapt to different types of questions and learn how to change my approach and where I might be deficient when I actually have a pencil and paper in front of me, or a tablet, as you guys know, because July is when they first start to implement the digital LSAT. Until then, I probably won't be able to know, but for day two, I think I've made pretty decent progress. I finished up all of my lessons on Group 1 and Group 2 translations for logic, which again, I knew logic pretty well, but these translations and quizzes have been very helpful for me because I haven't been used to actually identifying certain things. Another issue I'm having is going along with the certain steps of answering a question. Because I know these are problem sets, I just know what types of questions they're going to ask. And that led me to one mistake earlier today when I read a question and it said "except" in the question stem, and I didn't read that because I just assumed it was the most strongly supported question. Excuse me. So I guess another thing I've learned today is to always read the question stem first, except for reading comp, maybe, because there's so many questions that are dependent on the passage, it's better just to outline that passage. But at least for logical reasoning, always read the question stem first. I'm coming to know that the hard way, at least now. So I guess that's really all I learned for today. Not a lot of studying. In total, I am 19 hours complete. I have completed 19 hours of LSage core curriculum, and my goal is to just complete that core curriculum within the next 5 to 6 weeks. I am almost 10% done after just 5 days of work, and I started this past Wednesday, and I only decided to start making these videos yesterday, so day 4 of my studying, where I had a massive 8-hour study session and 2 hours today. So all in all, for 4 days worth of work, I think I did pretty well. I definitely could do better, but at least from where I started last Tuesday when I took my cold diagnostic, I feel like I could take another prep test and at least break the 150s this time. I got a 149 my first time. I probably won't be doing prep tests until I'm done with this core curriculum. I will be doing problem sets, but no questions, no prep tests until after that. And that's why I want to finish the core curriculum, if I could speak properly, within the next 5 to 6 weeks, because by then I would have about 5 or 6 weeks to do just prep tests for the LSAT. And that's a good thing because if I have 5 to 6 weeks to do that and I do 2 tests a week, I will average out hopefully at least 12, maybe leading up to 15 if I could do 3 sometimes a week. I know that's not ideal, and I know that's not exactly the best way to approach things. My mentality is if I could do great in July, then that's just it. But also, realistically speaking, I know that to hone these skills takes a lot of time to actually master the skills needed for the LSAT. I know just answering a question and hoping that it's right using the logic that I already have isn't enough. I need to apply or change my way of thinking to take this test. I'm learning to sort of just focus outside of the world and just leave all external world ideas outside whenever I try to answer any of these questions, or like leave any possible doubt that I might have about those questions because of my external world knowledge. It's easier said than done, because when you read a question done and it talks about, and one of the answer choices relates to something in the passage and makes a small, very minute assumption that concerns our external world, we might believe that to be true, but nowhere in the passage is that supported. Easier said than done to adjust for that, but I'm slowly starting to catch on to what that might mean, and what might be probable answers, at least for most strongly supported arguments. I don't know how hard the other question types, at least for logical reasoning, might be because I haven't practiced them yet. I know there's assumption questions, I know there's strengthening questions, I know there's weakening questions, I know there's like parallel flaw questions or something like that. And for those questions, I feel like I could use formal logic better than most strongly support. Because for most strongly support, I'm trying to make a conclusion. My brain jumps all over the place, and I feel like if something was more mechanical, might be able to do better. But who knows? I'll cross that bridge when I get there, and that bridge is not for today. So as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. I guess the last piece of advice I would give is, if you're studying, try to enjoy it as much as you can. I know it sucks, but just remember the reasons that you're doing this for, the reasons why you're studying, and I think that's more than enough reason to keep on studying and trying to find enjoyment in that. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.